Welcome back to Hardball. Glenn Beck's rally at the Lincoln Memorial is tomorrow morning. What's it all about? Here's a video he posted on his website to give us an idea what he's up to. Let's listen.
Every great achievement in human history has started with one person, one crazy idea. People unafraid to march boldly into the unknown, the unthinkable. Man has always searched for a better way. Remember who we are. Remember who you are. Remember the spirit of those who came before us. It's time to restore America. Restore the world. It's time to believe again.
Well, there you have it. Colin Hanna. Colin Hanna is president of Let Freedom Ring, and Eric Burns is president, of course, of the Media Matters. Let me ask you, Colin, thanks for coming in, by the way. I always like when you guys come in. What is it that's been stolen, and who stole it? Because this is a claim that I hear a resident over and over again, echoing over and over again. Somebody stole my country. I'm coming to Washington to get it back. Who are the people? Give me the names of people who stole America.
The whole thing, Chris, is about the American dream.
But who stole it?
The American dream is alive and well in the grassroots of Americans today. That's the point. The Washington establishment on both sides has lost the original picture of the American dream. And in the grassroots, it's alive and well. It's nonpartisan, it's deeply patriotic, and it's going to be in strength on the Mall tomorrow.
It's nonpartisan, but he calls Barack Obama racist. Glenn Beck, I've got the tape. You want to see it? We can play it every night here if you want. You know the tape. He said it. Here it is. Let's watch him. Here's a guy who you say is nonpartisan as the grand the grand vizier of this event. Let's see how nonpartisan he is. Let's listen.
This president, I think, has exposed himself as a guy over and over and over again who has a deep-seated hatred for white people or the white culture. I don't know what it is. This guy is, I believe, a racist. Look at the way, look at the things that he has been surrounded by.
The Reverend Glenn Beck, who's going to be leading this, I don't know what, meeting tomorrow, and he's nonpartisan. That person we just heard from, he ain't nonpartisan.
I'm talking about the people.
Oh, the people, but not the guy up on the lectern, not the guy giving the speech tomorrow.
Listen, he is reflecting a mood in the American people that has everything to do with our founding, everything to do with our values, everything to do with our country.
The American people believe Barack Obama's a racist.
No, I don't think that.
Well, you just said he's reflecting a mood.
Because when you get 300,000 people on the Mall tomorrow, 400,000, 200, whatever it is, those are people who are there because the notion of restoring honor, of returning to founding principles, reclaiming America's founding principles, that's what's got them excited. You referred earlier to the excitement in the conservative base. That's what it's about. It's
but I wonder if it's positive or negative.
But it's not about demagoguery on either side.
Okay, I just heard something there. Eric, your thoughts.
There's a lot of demagoguery going here on the right, and we all know that. I mean, up until, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Glenn Beck told everybody not to bring their signs because I think, he
said there's going to be a miracle tomorrow.
Yeah, swastika signs, I think, at the rally aren't going to play well. But, this isn't even really just about Glenn Beck and Fox News, obviously the PR arm of this. There's also kind of the silent partner here, and I think that's who's stealing America, and it's the Koch brothers.
Why did the Republican Party get $1 million from Fox Television if it's nonpartisan, this event tomorrow?
I don't know. That's not the issue.
Well, you keep saying you're not associated with the money or with the leader. This is Glenn Beck's event. He's with Fox, and Fox got $1 million, gave $1 million to the Republican Party. You say it's nonpartisan?
That's incidental. I don't know. I don't know why they got $1 million. Here's the point, though, Chris. Something remarkable is happening in America in 2010, and that's what you're going to see on the Mall tomorrow. And some of these other people, Glenn included, who are professional communicators and well able to defend themselves, I don't have to be their their apologists, but they are reflecting the mood of America, which is researching, trying to find
something's happening. But isn't it just a lurch to the right in the Republican Party we're seeing over and over, knocking out Robert Bennett, maybe knocking out Murkowski, maybe trying to knock out John McCain? Isn't that just a move by the Republican Party, a shift to the right? Isn't that all it is? It happens in America once in a while, but why do you call it somehow a citizens movement when it's an ideological lurch?
Well, it's a lurch to principles, Chris.
To the right.
It's a lurch to principles and away from
I think it's an ideological movement. I don't think it's a citizens movement. I think everybody out there votes Republican. That's my hunch.
Oh, I think that's probably right.
Well, then how do you call it nonpartisan?
Because it's coming from the grassroots. It's not coming from the partisan apparatus.
Look, the Tea Party movement and the 9/11 project was practically invented by Fox News. They spent months promoting it. The Koch brothers are actually funding it, as they were funding the John Birch Society back in the 1950s, and they've been funding things ever since, up to $100 million worth. This is the same money that brought us George Bush, that brought us BP, the deregulation, the collapse of the financial markets.
It's hard for me not to think this is somewhat ethnic. Going after the president and calling a guy who has done everything by the American rules, studied hard in school, got into great schools, put together a beautiful family, a good husband, good father by all appearances, a good guy in every way, done everything the American way, has given speeches about America that are more patriotic than any speeches given maybe since King.
Many of them are Reagan-esque.
And then you guys trash the guy as a racist. Why?
I don't trash the guy as a racist.
Glenn Beck, you want to play it again?
No, I'm talking about the mood in the
Who's leading the mood tomorrow? Who's the king?
Glenn has done a remarkable job of educating people on some of the founders. The things that he does on those Friday shows are instructive.
What is the goal? What's the bottom line? I mean, is this the Protestant Reformation? Is this a purification of the national temple? What exactly is the goal?
It's the reawakening of America's founding
to what
principles.
Effect? To what effect?
To a re-examination of who we are as a nation, what we grew from. It's a return to the basics, and that's why the Constitution is such an important thing. What we're doing with Let Freedom Ring, we have a project called WeReadTheConstitution.com. On September 18th,
I don't think we need it. I look at the firefighters. Excuse me. This country is very patriotic. I look at the firefighters that went up the stairs when everybody's coming down on 9/11. I look at the people that join the Army every day in this country. I look at the people that join the Peace Corps every day.
God bless them.
There's a lot of patriotic people in this country. I don't know if they need some moral rearmament by some right-winger talking racist nonsense to make us a better people. I don't think Glenn Beck's a better person than anybody living in this city. Do you? Do you think he's better than the people who live on the East Coast?
No, and I'm not judging.
I wonder. And this attack on the mosque is un-American. You know it is. I'm not sure where I stand, but the way the attack's been waged, and I think it's a legitimate debate.
No question.
But the way it's been waged has been ethnic. Why are 54% of the American people against Muslims in the latest poll? Against Muslims per se. Explain that. Republicans. Why are the Republicans anti-Islamic?
I'm not going to make that argument.
Well, I can tell you, Chris.
I'm not against Muslims.
Well, why is 54% of the Republican Party, which is all the people who are going to be out there tomorrow? You said they're all going to be Republicans. Why are they anti-Islamic?
Because the Republican Party and Fox News is driving that every day. They're fear-mongering.
But the president, our most recent president, who's a Republican, George W. Bush, mightily tried not to let that happen after 9/11, and that seems to have gone away.
Well, because what we're seeing.
Didn't he try?
He did try. He did try. But what we're seeing here at the at this, especially with this rally tomorrow, is a rebranding of the conservative movement, because the GOP brand. Let's face it. I mean, it's
here's what I'm concerned about. Rush Limbaugh yesterday came out and said we're not anti-Islamic in this country because we elected Barack Obama. You're laughing. Once again, he's perpetrating the notion that the guy is Islamic. He just he does it every darn day.
It's an outright lie.
It's a big lie campaign, as you know. And you got a good sense of humor, sir. And you seem like an upbeat guy. Why are you associated with this negativity?
I'm not associated with negativity. I'm excited about what's happening in grassroots America.
If you catch a swastika sign down there tomorrow, it's going to be a beautiful day, by the way.
Right.
He is very fortunate on the weather. If you walk up and see a guy holding up a Nazi sign or something that paints the guy's face white, like white face or black face. If you see that, what will you say to that person? You're just going to stand next to him and say, great weather, huh?
No, absolutely not. I don't think that
I'd love it if the guy, why don't the people in your group walk up to those people and rip those posters out of their hands and say, that's not American, just once.
Yeah, well,
once.
I'm ready, and I hope your camera's there, because that's not what the thing's about. And that's not what it was about. That's not what it was about last time either. And if you look at the signs, very, very
What does Glenn Beck have in common with Martin Luther King?
Go ahead.
What's he have in common with Martin Luther King?
Let me be a gentleman.
Well,
Let you out.
absolutely nothing. First of all, except that he's trying to steal his legacy and steal George Washington and Abraham Lincoln's and
you know what I hear? You know what the words like nullification, interposition, all the words of opposition and support, support for Jim Crow, are the very words that Martin Luther King was against in that speech. And yet the people that support those positions, which you can reject federal law, you can defy federal law, you don't have to enforce it. That's the language of the people out there tomorrow. That's what's weird.
But Chris, can I make a point here, guys? Because I think this is important. Colin, you know, you were saying, you know, this isn't racist, this isn't political. You're going to be there tomorrow. I take it.
Absolutely.
You know, you're a birther. You've questioned.
I'm not a birther.
You've questioned the president's birth certificate. I've seen the writing. I mean, you're still one of the folks that's out there questioning the birth certificate.
That's absolutely not true.
Somebody's wrong here.
I don't know what writing you're referring to.
I'm referring to the writing that I've seen. You know, absolutely from you, and we can certainly provide it on our website. You've never questioned the president's birth certificate.
That's correct. I have.
You didn't actually call
I criticized the president's defense against those charges.
Well, I mean, okay, that's maybe.
Do you have any doubt that he's American?
No.
Okay, you have no doubt.
And I've said that to you before here.
But Colin, he's also.
I'm not taking his side.
He has not
until he proves it. I hope you get your facts straight.
For Eric,
first we are facts.
For Eric, this is a home game. For me, it's an away game. Okay, so I understand.
No, but you want to know what you've said, and you sound like you're always on better ground when you know what you say. I take your word. We'll have to see this.
I mean,
I'm
Colin,
sure it'll be posted on Media. Would you post it on Media Matters?
Absolutely.
Either way.
Absolutely
Either way.
will.
Okay,
absolutely will. And you know, can I just add one more thing, Colin? You know, you wrote that Barack Obama was a token president. He wasn't. You know, I mean.
What's that mean?
Well, I mean, I think
I don't recall the context in that. I don't.
That he wasn't qualified. He was a token. I mean, this again goes back to the whole.
Here, my concern is that these kinds of rallies are always good. It's good to see people on their feet gently. But what I worry about is this thing's going to get hot, and I do worry about the fight at the mosque. And you know, these things develop, and what happens is somebody somewhere, like the cab driver in New York, gets assaulted, or this preacher down here who says he's going to burn the Koran on 9/11. Imagine burning a bunch of Korans on international television. That's going to cause trouble. That's the kind of atmosphere we lived in 1963, right about the time that led up to the Kennedy assassination. That atmospheric of anything goes and violence is okay. And that's what I'm worried about.
Do yourself a favor, Chris. Go down to the mall yourself tomorrow. See the people, talk to the people, and see if you come away with the concerns that you express here in the context of the studio.
Well, I'm going to be out of town, but
they've been told not to bring. They've been told not to bring the signs. You know, if you go to.
I just hope they don't come with guns.
Talk to the people. Oh,
I do too.
Come on, you're better than that.
Oh, how many rallies? You want the pictures of people with guns at rallies?
Chris.
At these rallies?
Well, we had a guy in California that was out going out.
I've asked the people, when are you going to use your gun when you're at a rally? What's the use of a gun at a rally? At a political event. They have a right to carry my gun, but why would you bring it? That's my question. I wish everybody was like you in that crowd out there, Colin, because you seem like a reasonable guy, although appearances may be deceiving. Anyway, Colin Hanna, sir, thank you for joining. Eric Burns, you're going to post tonight whether you're right or wrong.
Absolutely.
Either way.
Absolutely.
Either way.
No,
the truth
right.
shall set you free. Up next, New York Mayor Mike Bloomberg takes the mosque debate to Jon Stewart, and it's really quite a moment. That's in the sideshow tonight. You're watching Hardball, only on MSNBC.